Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video, I'm doing a review of the Cloudberry Journal. Now, if you're thinking this is a bullet journal, not quite. I'm going to call this a bullet planner. So it does have doc grid pages and you can do your own spreads, but they do also have some pre-printed spreads in here, including monthly and weekly, and also a couple of like extra collections type pages at the back. So I have sticky marked a few pages because there is no tabs, which is pretty common for a hardcover like this, and there is only one ribbon bookmarked, so I'll point that out. So the size, it is quite chunky because you do get weekly spreads, plus there's extra like pages, so if you wanted to you could do a 4-page weekly spread. So because of that, it is quite chunky. I would say it's just about 1 inch thick. It's got this name on the side, Cloudberry Journals, and then the cover, I don't mind it, something different with these flowers. They're like imprinted on it. Don't know if you can see that. It's like 3D when you touch it. Feels kind of cool. And green is a nice change because that doesn't normally come as a cover option for bullet journals. They're normally just boring black. So the page size, let me just grab my ruler. It's about 5.75 inches wide by about 8.5 inches high. So I think it is a little bit bigger than most bullet journal notebooks. They tend to be about 8.5. I think this one's a little bit wider than most of them. So let's have a look at the inside. So at the start here, this journal belongs to, and then we have the table of contents. So they have pre-printed the page numbers of the stuff that they've already like done the layouts for you in there. I probably would have preferred if they'd just bunched those up the top and then you can just add the rest of your pages, but I guess they're trying to intend that, you know, you add your ones in between. Anyway, so they do give you, I guess, like half a table of contents, and then these are all the collections pages they've pre-printed for you, and then there is a little bit more space for you to add your own as well. I do think another page for the contents would have been beneficial because you do lose a bit of space with the stuff they've pre-printed. So maybe you could use the bottom half of the key page because you do get a full page for that. The page numbers, quite different, are printed at the top of the page, so not the bottom, at the top of the page. I do see a flaw already, though the number sort of intersects with the dots. So if I just flick through, especially see when it's 3 numbers, it's fully on that corner dot. So if you're doing up a spread that's going to touch the top of the page, that might annoy you. Well, it does for me. It's kind of like a pet hate. I don't want to be like drawing my line through the page number. I'd rather they just sit the number above it because there is quite a bit of, you know, white space around all of the dot grid on the page. So I do think that's a bit of a con. I love this cursive font, something different, looks really pretty. And even though it's cursive, you can still read it clearly. Some cursive fonts just can't really read that obvious, but I do quite like that one. The paper, there is a bit of show through on the side there. I've not done a pen test because I've decided I'm not going to keep this one just because it does have some pre-printed pages. But even if I did a pen test, I would say that most of it's going to have ghosting or show through because I can already see their printing has show through. So if you're going to use this notebook, I'd probably use the friction erasable pens or some ballpoint pens because they'll probably have the least amount of show through. See, there's some more there again. Okay, so at the front here, they've clustered some monthly agendas, so just some monthly calendars. You get a 2-page spread. Now, if you follow me, you'll know what I'm going to say about this monthly spread. I am not a fan at all of these split boxes for the weekend, let alone the fact that they are split diagonally. Like, how am I supposed to write anything in this weird triangle? It would have been better if they'd split it horizontally at least. But what I don't understand is why do they do that in the first place? Because there's these extra gaps on the side. Like, you could have fit another box in there. You've got, what, 3, 4, 5. You've got plenty of space to have done, you know, 4 columns on each side of the page. So I don't know if they're trying to encourage you to do some decorating in this spine here because I don't really know what else you could put in there. It's kind of an awkward space, especially if you're going to write like horizontally, you might turn the page. It's just, I don't know. I feel like this is not a very well thought out monthly calendar at all. So you do get all of these spreads at the front here, 12 months worth, so you could use this for a whole year. I keep going. So then we have the weekly agenda, which just means the weekly planning pages. Now, there are 2 pages pre-printed, like this. So it starts on a Monday, which is consistent with the monthly calendar that started on a Monday. And you get a full space for each day of the week, plus this habit tracker down the bottom here, again, consistent start on a Monday. And then over here with the monthly calendar. So I don't know what it is about this person. Maybe they just don't want to use the very edge of the notebook, or maybe because they've put their page number there, they don't use that whole first column because they've done it down here as well with the habit tracker. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't just extend the line here and then you get a bit more space to plan. So I feel like the idea behind this planner is good, but the execution and just the way they've like laid out the spreads just, it could be a bit of a better use of space than the way they have done it. So you've got that 2-page weekly spread, and then you've got 2 pages of just blank doc grid to do whatever you want with it. And then the next weekly spread starts, so on through the entire planner. So you get quite a lot of these. As you can see, that's why it's so chunky. So even if you don't want to use the weekly spread, you can still rule up your own, but I mean, then you may as well just go buy a normal bullet journal. So up to you. Maybe some weeks you want to use it, maybe some weeks you don't. Just some ideas. There's a lot of pages. As you can see, I'm already up to page 243. And then at the back here we have the collection section where they have pre-printed some pages for you. So I do really like this page. I think it's quite cute. Love the little banner up the top here. I reckon this would be really good if you add some color, like do a highlighted border around the boxes, color in the bunting, would look really pretty. And you can use this for whatever you want. Again, though, I don't really understand why they've got these giant gaps here, because it's not like there's a quill or any sort of, you know, binding in the middle. It's just sewn bound. So I don't really understand why there's such a giant gap there. But apart from that, next page, really like this bookshelf. I think that's cute, like a books to read tracker. And another notes page, movies to watch. They do drop the page numbers on some of these pre-printed pages, but I mean, 250 is right there. Like, you can just count to 51 easily. Not a big deal. Now this page, I'm not really sure what they're envisioning here, whether it's like maybe some journaling or some quotes or something, because some of these boxes are quite small. Like that one, I reckon is only about 1.5 centimeters wide. So I'm not sure what you're really going to fit in there. Maybe do some doodling. And then same with this one, no page numbers, just some like speech bubbles, maybe for quotes or memories or something like that. Yes, that is my light flicking. I've had to add some artificial light today to film this. So we have the bucket list page, or pages, if you want to use this second page. And then we have some maps. So not really sure why you include a map. Maybe you want to plan out your travel. So you've got the United States map, and then also a world map. So if anyone is wondering why I might not reply to their email straight away, this is where most people are, and this is me all the way down here in Brisbane. So yeah, time zone difference. If you don't hear from me, I'm probably asleep. Next bit, things that make me happy, things I want to learn, so just some list pages, and then we keep going with just blank ones. So I think I would have preferred if they had just clustered all of the collections pages at the very back, because now you've got this awkward space like in between with some blank pages. So yeah, they're kind of sort of 3/4 of the way through they put their pre-printed collections. It's all just dot grid. I'm just trying to find if there's any other collections pages that I've missed that I wanted to show you, which it doesn't look like it. No. So as for the page count, there are, whoa, 319, is that 19? Yeah, 319 pages. Blimey, that's a lot. That's a lot for a dot grid notebook. So even if you don't want those pre-printed pages, it might still work out all right value if you know, didn't use all of the weekly spreads, if you maybe skipped some of them, because there are a lot of pages in this notebook. The back here we have a pocket folder, which is a bit close to the spine, so it's a bit hard to open. It does have this sturdy like reinforcers on the side, which I have noticed a few more bullet journal notebooks have been doing, rather than just like the glued paper, so that's a pro. And then the back is just the same cover as the front, that usual like hardcover material that you'll find on dot grid notebooks. And I didn't point it out, but there was one built-in ribbon bookmark. So I think 2 would be good, and that's why I added the tabs instead with sticky notes, easy to do. Or the other thing that you could do is add some washi tape. So you just stick a little bit of washi here, and then you can create a pretty rainbow along the side with all of your different tabs of whatever page you're marking, or add them up the top, etc. There is a bit of a margin on this book too, so you could, you know, overlap the washi without it interfering with your, you know, your spread if you do right up to the top line. Anyway, that's my review of the Cloudberry Journal. I hope you found it helpful. I will include some links down below if you want to look at some other bullet journal reviews that I've done. And don't forget to subscribe. I usually post a couple of review videos each week.